India's growing crackdown on Sikh activists abroad is sparking a wave of international concern. The most high-profile incident came in June 2023 when Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Canadian citizen and Sikh community leader, was assassinated outside a Gurdwara in Surrey, British Columbia. What might have been dismissed as a localized incident gained global attention when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stood in Parliament and alleged that Indian government agents were involved in Nijjar's killing. The fallout was immediate. India denied the allegations, but Ottawa expelled a senior Indian diplomat and intelligence sharing between Five Eyes nations intensified. This wasn't an isolated incident. Around the same time, US law enforcement reportedly disrupted yet another assassination plot against a Sikh activist on American soil, allegedly linked to Indian operatives. These back-to-back developments suggest a troubling pattern. India appears willing to export its coercive security apparatus beyond its borders, directly targeting Sikh dissidents who have gained asylum, citizenship and legal protections in democratic countries. At the heart of this lies a long and painful history between the Indian state and its Sikh population. The conflict dates back to the 80s when calls for greater Sikh autonomy in Punjab were met with violent suppression. In 1984, Operation Blue Star saw Indian forces storm the Golden Temple in Amritsar, one of Sikhism's holiest sites, resulting in civilian casualties and deep emotional scars. Later that year, after Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards, mobs across India launched anti-Sikh pogroms, killing thousands. The state's failure to protect its own citizens and its refusal to hold the perpetrators accountable created a permanent rupture in Sikh trust toward the Indian establishment. The insurgency that followed in Punjab was eventually quelled by the mid-1990s, but the trauma endured. Sikh communities across Canada, the UK and the US carried this unresolved history into the diaspora. Movements advocating for Khalistan, a sovereign Sikh homeland, persist, though most have shifted toward peaceful activism, including non-binding referendums, rallies and community mobilization. Despite their non-violent nature, India continues to brand these movements as extremist and separatist threats. Hardeep Singh, for instance, had no criminal convictions, no proven links to violence, and was not designated a terrorist by any international body, yet still he was marked for elimination. The Indian government claims these actions are essential to protect national integrity, but extrajudicial killings on foreign soil are not acts of statecraft. They are violations of international law and the sovereignty of other democracies. A country that positions itself as the world's largest democracy cannot simultaneously undermine the rule of law abroad. If Nijjar or others posed a legitimate security threat, due process, extradition treaties and legal mechanisms exist. Resorting to covert violence erodes New Delhi's credibility on the global stage. Meanwhile, Pakistan, India's perennial rival, has taken a radically different approach with respect to Sikh sensitivities. In 2019, Pakistan inaugurated the Kartarpur Corridor, allowing visa-free access for Indian Sikhs to visit one of their most sacred sites. Rather than treating Sikh religious identity as a threat, Islamabad leveraged it as an opportunity for goodwill and diplomacy. Sikh pilgrims across the world responded with praise, gratitude and emotional reunions, many seeing it as a rare moment of reconciliation in an otherwise divided region. This contrast is stark. On one side, Pakistan opens a corridor of peace. On the other, India exports a strategy of surveillance, intimidation and violence. New Delhi's refusal to engage with its own history, especially the trauma of 1984, continues to fuel alienation, mistrust and dissent. Each act of repression, whether at home or abroad, deepens the rift. The Sikh movement is not retreating, it is adapting. Transnational networks, legal protections, and global platforms now offer Sikh voices new ways to organize and advocate. India's reliance on covert action may backfire, pushing the community further underground and alienating Western allies in the process. The choice before India is clear: face history honestly, engage its Sikh population with respect and transparency, or remain trapped in a cycle of fear and repression. The ghosts of 1984 will not be exorcised through denial or violence. Only dialogue and accountability can offer a path forward. I'm Dayaan Rahmani, and you're watching Policywire. Stay informed, stay critical.